After saying goodbye to Cape Breton National Park, we had a ferry to catch. As we made our way towards the Sydney terminal, we stopped at a small seafood restaurant in Neal's Harbour called the Chowder House. We arrived just before opening for lunch and spent some time admiring the local lighthouse and the fishermen setting their traps for the day. We were glad to see the food was delicious because it was the only restaurant in the area. After lunch, we were back on the road, and a small navigational error took us to what looked like a bridge on our maps. It turned out to be another ferry crossing. This time, it was a cable-driven ferry, and lucky for us, it was designed to handle fast-moving currents. As you can see, the sides of the ferry are shaped to force water under the boat. I was a little concerned with pulling the trailer on this tiny ferry until it got closer and I could see that there was a box truck on there. $7 later, and we'd be on the other side, headed for a slightly bigger boat.
That will be the biggest ferry I've ever been on.
That's mad. That's a cruise ship, dude.
Yeah.
That's like a cargo ship. We rolled into Sydney Terminal to be greeted by both Marine Atlantic ferries in port. I don't think either of us expected the ships to be that big. The anticipation of driving the rig into the belly of one of these beasts was exciting, but for us, the ability to take a real shower, use real bathrooms, and put our feet up and relax for a bit was even better.
You want to take this cable, you said?
Yes.
Last 30 seconds. And I'm going to put your ring in.
We're going on the lower deck. I just noticed that. Everybody else, the commercial stuff loaded at the top.
How's it going?
It's a good shot.
Yeah, I'll send you the 10 photos I've taken with my phone. Actually, I think I've only taken like 6. Not kidding.
Sorry, sir. We can't fit you and close the door.
There's a lot of space up there.
I'm trying to see if he's going to pull me over that lane or not. I think he probably will.
See, this is interesting too. If I would feel obligated to have stuff on standby that you're sending through to make sure to maximize, like literally why send this thing at 75%?
Yeah.
I would always have shit sitting out there.
He's going to pull me around that way, I bet. Wet in the floor. Notice that? Not knowing what to expect, we both felt the ship would be pretty Spartan. We were both pleasantly surprised at the interior and how polished it was. For a very reasonable price, you can add a berth to your ticket, which includes 2 beds, a full bath, and a TV. This was to be an 8-hour ferry crossing, plus we lose an hour due to the time change, so the berth was definitely a good call. So this is the berth. It was an extra $55 on top of your ticket, and it's a very small cabin with 2 beds. There's a full bath, albeit a small bathroom, with towels and a TV mounted on the wall. Fortunately for me, this ship was much larger and much more stable than the cat ferry, so I didn't need the provided vomit bags. There was a bar with some pub food and drinks, very much like a lounge. And for some reason, they played 80s music throughout the entire ship. For 8 hours. For the next 8 hours, we relaxed a bit and planned our Newfoundland time a little bit more.
Summer night, I took a little ride. First train to leave for the county line. I found you in the room of crowded pews, unaware that now will change my life. I crossed the line and lingered on that road for a chance to conquer time. Space and follow through. All the reasons in this world can never give me an excuse to reminisce. This dance, the day I saw you. Rain or shine, I'll drink my whiskey fine. Well, I sobered up and found a new cut smile. Tall still, with looks that can nearly kill. Every man here wishing coward in him would die. Well, I crossed the line and lingered on that hope for a chance to conquer time and space and fight on through. All the reasons in this world can never give me an excuse to ever miss this dance, the day that I saw
Hello.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured was going to happen.
Some little critter just ran across. It's a chipmunk type thing.
Well, we're just passing through. We don't have a reservation. Because we didn't think that everybody that got off the boat would stop here first. Not going anywhere for a while.
No. Yeah, the bathtub thing.
That thing?
Yeah.
You called a bathtub?
Looks like a bathtub. Looks like they took 2 bathtubs, stuck them together. Cut some holes in it.
That's the... What would I call that? That's the... I hate to say entry level, but I know there's a lot of people on YouTube that dirt. I don't want to say dirt poor, but go low cost all across. Traveling around the country, and they're doing it as cheap as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't have like a van to do it out of,
Mm-hmm.
that's what they have. And a lot of people have actually like gutted the insides and made them really nice.
I bet it's light.
Mm-hmm. Well, look how skinny the tires are.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I'm like, boy,
It's like a go-kart tire.
Yeah.
The reason for the line was that this provincial park was the closest to the ferry terminal. We didn't plan for anything other than to stay the night and move on in the morning. We still had some daylight left, so we decided to explore. The park turned out to be beautiful, and we both agreed that some daylight exploration was needed. The next morning, we broke camp early and drove down to the 2-track path we explored on foot the night before. We had been on pavement for a few days now, and were itching to get off the beaten path again. We made our way around the saltwater puddles and found one of Newfoundland's hidden gems.
You got plenty of space.
Alright, go ahead and hop up to the next one.
Yeah.
This is a terrible interface and unit. It is absolutely horrible. It's like
Stock, though.
It's stock, yeah. It's like 20 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like 2 Jeeps ago, I had one.
Exactly. I remember it in a previous one.
Now keep right. Turn right in a quarter of a mile onto Highway 400.
Kind of ironic, since they
like used 60,000 mile Mercury hybrid that's 5 years old, 7 years old, has a better nav system than this by
turn
far. Like, it's not even a challenge. The backroad coastal paths were amazing, but we still had a schedule to keep, so we pointed the rig towards Gros Morne National Park and made a few scenic pit stops along the way. Alright, so now that we've crossed our ferry crossing into Newfoundland, we get the opportunity to add our Newfoundland sticker to our map here. Those with a keen eye will notice that Newfoundland and Labrador are the same, essentially the joint province here, but the decision was made, executive decision by me, to split that into 2 different territories, because technically on this trip we won't be stepping foot into the Labrador section. So I'm going to save that because it's not quite true if we add it on there, and we'll save that one for another trip. So, but first we have one little section here that represents our ferry crossing. So it's just a little sticker for a little bottle of water. Goes right on there. That's our ferry crossing. And then got another sticker here that represents the Newfoundland piece. And I just put it on there crooked. Oh well, that's where it goes. So once we get done with Newfoundland, we'll come back across the ferry from the other side, and then we're going to head down across Nova Scotia again, and then hit Prince Edward Isle and mark that one off. Already been to New Brunswick, so fortunately have that sticker. Going to head down there, then on down the coast of Maine. We are in Gros Morne National Park, and we are taking some time out to do a little campfire cooking with our cook partner stove here. And we're going to use it a little bit differently than the standard cooking with pots and pans on top. We're going to attempt to do flatbread pizza, cooking underneath the actual burners, almost as if it were being broiled or cooked in an oven. So I don't know whether this is going to turn out or not, but we're going to try it, and this is basically how you do that. Pick it up out of here, kind of see what the finished product is like. And there's your flatbread pizza, cooked without an oven by using the cook partner stove as an oven. So that's it. Thanks. Next time on First State Overland's Northeast Expedition, we hike up a waterfall in Gros Morne National Park. We stop by a small town in Newfoundland with a big connection to the U.S. And we risk it all for a once-in-a-lifetime view.